Going for a ride, keep you warm inside. Gonna rob the sidewalk, gonna tear the ground. Coming round to meet you, the long way round. This morning I drove for about 2 hours and the roads were just stunning. They were like, oh, bendy. Oh. At Dover, at the ferry, they stopped me at customs as usual. And they threw away my knife. I had a knife which apparently it wasn't the length that wasn't okay, it was something to do with the locking. I can't remember, but anyway, they took my knife. So all I'm left with is this thing, which doesn't cut anything, but we're gonna try and cut the tomatoes with it. When I was driving with the van, I would love taking the small roads, but if I had to do like long stretches of roads, I would probably do like mostly highways and the rest, small roads, just because it would consume a lot more than this. If I had taken the highway to get where I need to go, I would have taken 3 hours, where it's taken me 6 hours. But with this, since it consumes so much less, you can, you know, do all of those cool roads and like take the detours, and obviously if you have the time. So that's really a big plus of traveling with a motorbike. And also it's just fun to drive. I mean, if you drive a motorbike then you know what I mean, but if before I found driving so boring, especially for long spaces of time. I mean, you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to music, which I don't in the motorbike, because A, it's illegal, it's dangerous, and also I wouldn't really be able to hear much because it's really noisy. But yeah, in the bike it's like a little meditation really. Like you go and it's, I don't know, it's very peaceful and very quiet. And I guess a lot of people, they don't get with bike, they think it's about the adrenaline and stuff, and for some people I'm sure it is, but for me it's the opposite. It's like it really calms me and relaxes me. When I bought the bike and I thought about traveling with it for a little while, I didn't quite thought it through, and there are a few things that popped up that I'm like, bloody hell, it's different than traveling in the van, obviously. And the first one is how you need to be more organized, because with the van I never really had a plan of where I was going, and I would kind of stop wherever I wanted to eat, to, you know, sleep and all that. With the bike, I mean, to eat it's fine, you can stop whatever, but even to eat, it's nice to find a place that's nice. While in the van, even if you stop at the parking of a supermarket, it's still your little place and it's fine, it's a little cocoon. And so that's one thing. And obviously sleeping, and a lot of people, they stay in hotels, but I guess that's for small stretches. Then you could do that if it's just a week or something. But if you're planning to do a lot, then I mean, it's quite expensive staying in a hotel every night, so you're kind of dependent on campings. And you know, you need to book ahead and like find where there are campings, because some areas there aren't that many campings. Like right now I'm in an area there's a lot, so I should be fine for tonight. But hey, see what I mean? You kind of have to prepare one day in advance, know more or less where you're going, check on Airbnb and campings if there's anything cheap. And yeah, it just takes that extra step that traveling with a van definitely doesn't. I mean, you might still check for parking spots and that stuff, but you know that even if you don't find the ideal parking spot, you can park pretty much everywhere and sleep. While with the bike you can, unless you want to wild camp, and again that will be If I was in Scotland, that wouldn't be a problem about accommodation because I could wild camp anywhere, but here in Belgium it's just so densely populated, and in France as well, it's illegal also to camp under 1,000 meters, I think, to bivouac, so yeah, I wouldn't want to risk that. So that's another thing to consider. Obviously I did think about this before starting, but I didn't quite think. I thought about the accommodation, I didn't think about the organization, if that makes sense. So it's kind of teaching me to be a little bit more organized and a little bit more mindful of what I want to see and where I want to go. And now to talk about the cons, sorry, the pros. Free parking. You can go in, you know, all the towns. There's pretty much free parking for motorbikes everywhere, and it's usually a lot more central, so you don't have to like commute as much or like find a place for the van and then walk to town, which it's a lazy thing, it totally is, but you don't have to pay for parking. So anytime that you're in a little town, little cute town, you just want to go in for coffee, then you can do it. While with the van it would have been a little bit more, you know, I would have to pay for parking or like find a place outside the city and then walk in, so it would have taken a little bit more of thinking. And then on the opposite side of the coin, there's the fact that the bike is so much easier to steal. And I mean, I have a chain, a good chain, a decent chain, and I put a cover on it at night so that you can't see quite what bike it is. And it's not an expensive bike, you know, I didn't pay, actually I don't think I ever told you, I paid it only £1,000, £1,100, so I didn't, you know, it's not an expensive bike, but still, it doesn't matter. They can still steal it anytime to resell it and make a little profit. So yeah, every night I take everything out, all the panniers and things, which it takes a little bit of time, and they're heavy, and sometimes if I'm not parked exactly where the room or the tent is, then I need to walk with those heavy things. But if they stole the bike with the panniers in it, it would be like pretty bad, because if they steal the bike, yes, it sucks, but at least I have all of my things with me, and especially my camping equipment, which is, some things are quite expensive, and also all of my jewelry making stuff is there. I don't want them to steal that. Like, I would much prefer them getting the bike than getting the panniers. So yeah, I have to take all of those out at night, and then I really try and hide it, or like find places where there's cameras and stuff like that. Even if I'm not leaving it overnight but just going for coffee, you always try to find a spot where you can see the bike, or even if you're parking it at a supermarket and stuff. It's just thinking about that all the time, basically. While with the van, I don't know, I never really cared, because it would be a little bit harder to steal, and also it didn't look very nice. So no, I don't know, it did look nice to me, but it didn't look that appealing to a thief to steal. While the bike is just an easy target, so there's a lot of thinking involved about where to park. Although you can park everywhere, you also want to keep it close to where you are and keep it in eyes range. Another pro that I was thinking when I was driving is that when you get a bike and driving a bike, it's like you're part of a community. Like, every biker is so nice, at least so far. Everybody in England and in Belgium, then I don't know if in Italy it's gonna be different, but every time they cross a biker in England, they nod. Here they do this, or they even put their leg down on the side, the right leg, which at the beginning I thought was, is there something wrong? Like, are they telling me about maybe police? I don't know, I can understand. But some people, they put their leg down to kind of say hello when they're passing you, or if they're coming the other way, they do like this, which is so cute. And at first I didn't realize what it was, but now I do it too. I'm like, wait. So there you are, that's my little tent set up. Got Jay next to me, protecting me, or better, I'm protecting her. And I have a river, a little river in front, which I can't think of any better sound to fall asleep than the sound of the water. Alright, gonna have some dinner and go back to bed. I'll see you soon and goodbye.